All right, so now we have, we did 2 tests before the program started, and I know that the phone recording is working for those that want to come in and listen to this on the audio later. For those of you that are watching or would like to watch through the webinar, that will be available because I see all the right lights in the right places and we are working. So very good. Everything's working great. I wanted to go through and talk about some of the things that that I thought would be good on the call. It sounded like last Tuesday you had a great call, which is proof you don't need me for great calls. Good job for you guys. So maybe you don't need me on Thursdays. Maybe I'll just go on vacation for a couple of weeks. But the truth is there is no vacation time for me. I am here for you. We got too much to do. Vacations will happen when, I don't know when. We'll just take care of them later. So that's not a problem. I'm a workhorse, and I am always working. That's my biggest family's complaint. Will you hand me that notepad that you're, there you go. I made some notes for me to make sure that I don't forget. I want to remind everybody that in the industry, it's called the auto ship. That's how you can make sure that you get your product for the following month. We call it auto delivery, and I need you to make sure that you respond to the emails and phone calls. Go to support@3believe.com and let's get your auto delivery all set up. We don't want you to run out of the product. If you run out, of course, you fall out of ketosis, and all the benefits that you have been enjoying stop. They go away. It's just like the benefits of drinking water. If you stop drinking the water, then you become thirsty again. It's just one of the things of mortality. So get that taken care of, and don't put it off. The next thing is, I've learned through some of you that have had the protocol for a few weeks, haven't started it yet. I encourage you to get started. Don't wait. One of the benefits of starting while in pre-launch, someone may be asking you, why in the world would you start when Jason doesn't have all his ducks in a row? When everything's all set up. And one of the benefits is that you'll start out, have the example of being on the protocol. You'll have a true live testimony that you can tell people. You don't have to refer to somebody else's testimony. You don't have to listen to me. You have your own that's talking about how you feel, the results that you saw. That is priceless because those people know you and they've experienced a relationship with you, and that is worth its weight in platinum, way beyond gold. So start the protocol, get going on it. If you have questions, then reach out to support, and I think I've responded to everybody's questions. And in the meantime, that's the way we'll do it, but I'm making more and more of the videos, and they will be available through the videos. While I'm talking about the videos, let's talk about the use and the plan of the videos. You'll have an entire library of videos available in your website. All right, I just saw a message. I admit I don't know every little feature, but let's see if I can get some of the message. One of the benefits of the starting into pre-launch is the ability to have those testimonies, but also you'll get familiar with the program. You'll see how things work. You'll see how things operate. The videos will be used as short messages. Time and time again, all of the big businesses are seeing that video is out-trumping read content by 100 to 1. We just prefer as people to watch a video rather than read the content. It's just maybe we're lazy. It's easier to do other things while we're listening and watching. There's lots of factors, but that's why we'll have both forms. We'll have a written form for your reference, but we'll also have the videos so that people can feel the energy of the call. You're able to have not only the auditory but the visual reception of the learning process, and that's the benefit. So I strongly encourage you to watch these videos. They're all on our YouTube page. You have the links. We've made it easy for you to follow the link to make sure that you understand how to do the protocol. Kelly, excuse me for a moment, so I can read messages. Could you check here and see how I read messages? People are sending me text messages and they show up for a moment and then they disappear. So maybe if you can find out while I'm talking, you can.
There you go.
Okay.
Extend.
Sorry, folks. We're making this so that we can. Okay. Tell them. Okay. So if you can, those that are on the webinar, you can send little text messages, and I might be able to comment on those. The videos will be short. They also, through the studies, have outlined that all of us have a certain length of attention span. And so I'll keep them at 10 minutes maximum. Most of them will be in the 5-minute range. And so even though this protocol is one that it blends over to many, many different topics, I will keep the video reference to one specific topic. And if I know that it's going to be a topic that goes on for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, because some topics do, I'll divide it up into part 1, part 2, part 3, so it'll still be efficient for people's attention span. So please watch those. You can go to our 3Believe in YouTube. So if you go to YouTube online, just go to their main page and then search 3Believe. You can also find it that way. So if you don't have the link, or if you're at somebody else's house and you don't have the links that we've sent you through customer support, through the email blast, then I will, or you'll be able to then have anybody see it. They can even do it on their smartphones. The videos will be very comprehensive, so they'll be very in-depth. It will give lots of information, and so that's why I encourage the videos. I'll be able to show you demonstrations. I'll be able to, especially in the case of recipes, we'll start out in having a recipe video section of showing them how to use regular foods that will be compliant to the diet. It'll be a great library, and that'll just be being built as we go. So in the meantime, watch the ones that you have. I encourage you all to go to your web or your emails. Go to your spam and see if there's emails that are sitting there. I only see about 50% of the people that we send out emails to open their emails. We have notices and information that we're sending you that only half of you have received. And so I know that you're getting them. We have the technology through the system that we're sending the emails out to you, but they're only telling me that 50% are opening the email. So I encourage you to do that. There's some great data there, and take the time to check your spam box and do a search even of 3Believe, and that will find it. Or Constant Contact. That's the name of the service that we're using that will send you out those notices. Constant with a C, Contact also with a C. And so one of the messages I wanted to go over about the protocol, if you will, is someone wrote in because they had talked with someone. I don't know if it was a doctor or an individual that said that ketosis is dangerous, don't do it. Or ketosis is dangerous, be very, very careful. And so I want to go into explanation. This is a very common topic. I talk with physicians all the time. These are trained professionals. They're not kooks. They're very smart individuals. They know their trade, but you got to understand that the human body is extremely complex, and that's exactly the reason why we have specialists that will be trained in a specific field of medicine. And when your doctor, your general practitioner refers you to a specialist, it's because they have expertise that the general practitioner doesn't. It doesn't mean that they're dumb. It doesn't mean that they're incompetent in their trade. It just simply means that they've really honed in on all the details of that particular illness or topic, because the field of medicine and the field of our body and the chemistry and what makes it happen is so absolutely complex. It's vast, and nobody can know all of it. That's why I only know one small part, which is metabolic syndrome. That's what I've specialized in. And so I'll go into a doctor, and even doctors, MDs, some are PhDs in their individual fields, and they've asked that question and say, well, ketosis is dangerous. The last thing I want to do is put my patients in harm's way. What they're referring to is something called ketoacidosis. Ketoacidosis versus ketosis. They sound similar, but they're not the same thing at all. So let's talk about that a little bit. Ketoacidosis is a condition that only two people can actually receive. Chemically in your body, a diabetic, a type 1 diabetic, not a type 2, and a severe alcoholic can experience ketoacidosis. Now, there's also been some studies recently because of the new drug. You may have heard about ecstasy. The new drug ecstasy and extreme exercise like rave dancing. For those of you that don't know what rave dancing is, it just means dancing or physical movement at the same time of taking ecstasy can create a ketoacidosis physiology. What it simply means is that you have no insulin that's being produced into your bloodstream, and yet your body is going to try and get energy, and so it's taking lipids, fatty acids from your body, and as it's burning that for energy without any insulin, part of the side effect is it's create ketones, and these ketones can increase the acidic level of your bloodstream. pH in our bloodstream is extremely sensitive, or should I say the healthy range of our the pH in our bloodstream is a very narrow margin where you want to be right at you can go slightly above neutral, but if you go down to say 6.8 or 6.7, you're approaching death. If you go to 7.3, then you're approaching death. That's how sensitive it. Neutral is 7.0. And so you don't have to vary very much in those numbers to have a cataclysmic effect in your body. You'll go into coma and you'll die. You'll just go into cardiac arrest, or your brain will stop functioning. And so it sounds really scary. And so when people say, oh my gosh, you're on a diet that actually puts you into ketoacidosis, they're confusing the two terms. You simply can't do it. It's not going to happen. So don't worry about that. Now, anyone that is a diabetic and that they want to go on this protocol, we have a protocol. That's why we ask you when you're signing up, and you should do the same, if they are a type 1 diabetic. Can a type 1 diabetic, because there's 6.2 million of you out there, can they do the 3Believe diet? Absolutely you can. Is it beneficial for them? to do so? Yes, very much so. Will it cure them of their type 1 diabetes? Absolutely not. It will not cure them of type 1 diabetes. So you may ask, well, then why in the world would they want to do it? The reason why is because the quality of their life will greatly improve. The reasons or the ways that it will improve is it's not uncommon for type 1 diabetics to reduce the amount of insulin that they're taking and the frequency that they're taking it, how many shots and the units of insulin that they're taking in. And that means the quality of life. It improves. It's not wonderful being a type 1 diabetic or a type 2, but it's much worse to be a type 1. And so those two factors are wonderful. And also, they'll be healthier. Their cells will become more sensitive to insulin, so they'll be their condition of a lowered state of insulin resistance is improved. That's great news. Their issues like water retentive in their lower extremities, neuropathy is a common situation, is it greatly improved. And so there's lots of reasons why a diabetic would benefit from a ketogenic or being in ketosis. And so our protocol is called alternative phase 1, which is how we can benefit those individuals. So just make sure that when you go into it, that you tell on your order kit that you need a alternative protocol, and we'll get you set up. It's very simple. It's not that hard. It's the same meal. It's the same formula. You just take it every 2 hours instead of every 4.5 or every 5 hours. It keeps your blood sugar levels in a more even range that keeps you out of ketoacidosis. And we actually add, sorry for the rest of you, but we actually do add a little bit of fruit to those individuals, but still only in the beginning. When you become more fat adaptive, which a type 1 diabetic can be, then even a type 1 diabetic no longer needs that fruit. It takes about a month, not very long. So that's a little bit about the ketoacidosis. I have written a very in-depth paper, which you will receive in your email, ladies and gentlemen. That's the one I told you about. Here it talks about ketoacidosis versus ketosis. So I have 4 pages of great data here that I have written for you that you can show to a physician and will vet out and make them feel very, very comfortable, or to any skeptic. Really all it is that we're not arguing with science. It's just a matter of misunderstanding. They don't know the differences. And so in that paper, I will have all the sourced clinical backup so that they can check it and make sure of it on their own. So hopefully that clears up the issue on ketoacidosis versus ketosis. Let's move on to another topic. I have also prepared another paper. I've had some people talk about, well, why is the meal replacement so awesome? Why is it different than anybody else's? And you've heard me talk a little bit about this. So because I don't sleep, I'm here for you. I have written this paper. It is quite lengthy. There's 35 pages, okay? And the title of it is Why the 3Believe Smart Food is the best meal replacement in the world. And then in this document, I go through, and why this is so unique, no other product in the world has done this. And the reason why is not because they can't write, it's simply because they don't have the ingredients that we have to brag about. And they don't have enough content to write 34 pages of stuff. And I could write more, but I slimmed it down. So I put in here, again, quotes of clinical studies of each unique individual ingredient that I put in to the CMR, the complete meal replacement. You will be impressed. You can peruse it and just look at the summary, or you could give it to someone and read the huge amount of data that I put in here. What a great resource. And that will do a better job of explaining than I would. It would take a long time. Now, I will actually have videos produced on each individual topic. So you'll be able to send it to a friend and say, why is our turmeric, for example, which is a great supplement for inflammation, for example, why would you take our turmeric versus anybody else's? And I'll do a video on just that one ingredient. You will be very impressed. I promise you this will be a very impressive caption. So look for that in your email. Please print it off. Please read it. You want to know about this program? I have mountains of data. I have it here for you. But open up your emails, go searching for it, and go to our YouTube page and start going through it. I would check it at least weekly. I would check it a couple of times a week because you may not be able to watch multiple videos, but go through it and start making a little checklist of the ones that you've seen, the ones that you haven't. You want to learn about how the details of this program, that's how you're going to do it. But I'm going to make it easier for you. I'm not going to make it as hard as it was for me to learn how to do it. So the last topic that I want to talk about is the website. So I know that some of you are holding off telling anybody about the website, and I have been burning the midnight oil. I was up till midnight the night before last dealing with the IT team. And I kind of gave you a little bit of summary. There's really 3 different groups that we have to vet and move together. It's like if you've ever heard the term herding cats. Cats go where they want to go. So herding several of them is, wow, it's a tough task. It's worse than raising 3 daughters, which I did. And one is the graphic side that makes it look pretty. The other is the front office, things that make it functional for you to like place your orders and order the food and read about the food and the content and the nutritional value, things like that. And then you'll have the back office. That's the business side. That's where you can track your people in the downline, what they're doing. And so those are 3 distinct different groups, and actually you're having 3 distinct different files of data. Well, the biggest one, or the biggest 2, is of course the back office and what we call the front office. That's the ordering of the product, that's reading about it. That's where things like the videos will be placed, or the link to our YouTube page, it'll all be there. Just to show you how big of a file that is, it took half the night just to download that file into the back office file. Gigantic file. And so now it's just merging those together. We're so very, very close. I don't expect more than 10 days. There you heard me put out the word that the website will be up and operational. Now understand, there's going to be phases of the website. We'll be having added features all the time. I believe that all companies, all individuals, and all should be always improving. In the business, you may have heard this term, innovate or die. If a company is not constantly innovating, changing, improving, adding to, they will just be surpassed. Doesn't matter how big they are. Look at IBM. They owned the typewriter business and computers. They're the first ones that developed the supercomputers, and they have a small percentage of the market now compared to the rest of the world. They were too late in the personal computers. They own a minuscule part of that business now. In fact, they sold their division off to another company called Lenovo. Now owns their laptops division. You don't even see IBMs anymore in laptops. And that will not be our company. I am constantly innovating, constantly bringing new things into research, looking at new equipment, going to trade shows, talking with scientists that have developed a new product or ingredients. It's something that I'm passionate about, and you'll get the benefits of. Just like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, one product that you'll have will be a whole nutritional pet food line that gives the same benefits that the shakes that you're giving yourself. And of course, the essential oils that will be infused with nutrients, something that nobody else is doing. These are the type of things that will be innovative. Be looking for those things. That's what I'm committed to do. And so the website is up. I know, and I apologize, I have been focusing more on the website. A couple of weeks ago, I told you that I would share with you the compensation plan. I would have a little chart and a little graph to show you what it is. And I admit that I had the art team working on the other stuff for the website rather than that. But it is very exciting. Every time I show it to a veteran person that has been or is in the MLM industry, they are impressed. They love it. They said it's the best plan that they've ever seen. And one thing that I'll tell you is that it is set up that you can literally explain it on a piece of paper. And you can explain it to a person over the phone. It's that simple. Thank goodness. It won't be complex. It's very simple to explain, and the payout is remarkable. It's never been done before. I'm telling you, I'm so excited with how many unique features we have that no other company has. Now remember where we got our starts. We've been in this business for 8 years. We've been serving doctors and clinics and hospitals, providing them products that no other company has ever had in the treatment of metabolic syndrome. Now remember, everybody, tell me what is metabolic syndrome. If you have any two of the following conditions, which is you're overweight, you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, elevated glucose levels, or diabetic, and you have fatty liver disease, then you have metabolic syndrome. Any two in any combination. We throw in there digestive disorders because we're so successful with the digestion. And that's what we've been selling to doctors. And they then provide it to their patients as an alternative to surgery and to medication. And we did very, very well there. Why did we start 3Believe? Why did we offer a retail, if you will, line? Because less and less people are going to doctors. Less than 25% now. This year, it was posted 24% of people see a physician in a 12-month period of time. What about all the other people? They have a right and need to have those benefits. And so that's why we offered it, and I wanted to do it in the best, fastest way possible, and no better way than through talking to your friends and family and associates. And then instead of paying the doctors or giving the doctors a commission or a markup, we give it to you instead. What a great way to expose people. So that's where we got our start. We have still today we have proprietary technology. I've decided not to put it in a patent. If you know anything about patents, you know that they're only as good as your ability to police them. In other words, when you go in to file a patent with the patent office, it is required that you file what is called a patent pending. And when you issue your patent pending, that means that your patent hasn't been granted to you yet because the patent office is reviewing it, see if it's worthy of a patent. You have to submit all the details of how you actually created that magic element, potion, technology, device, whatever it is. You give your competition exactly how to duplicate it, to copy it. And then you have to go out and police the entire world to find out when someone violates your patent. No one else, there's no government body that says, hey, Jason, I'm letting you know that this company in China or India or South America or in Indiana is violating your patent. You have to do it yourself. And then patents are only good for a certain period of time, and then they expire, and you then it's open to the world. So I believe that the best protection is intellectual or protection. Don't give out your technology, and then always be innovating and always be changing. And so far, it's served us pretty well. We're a small company, and we've been able to outdo some behemoth corporations that are multi-billion-dollar companies that haven't been able to do what we've done. So far that methodology is working pretty good, and that gives you the comfort of knowing that not someone else or not anybody's going to come out and just do a Me Too product. But in a way, I hope that someone comes close. You know why? Because it'll push me to do more. It'll push us to be better, and we'll come out with something even more fantastic. And so we welcome competition. We welcome others to be innovative, and you want that too. But I just promise you that we'll always be there in the front, uncovering those new discoveries that we haven't learned about yet. So the program, those of you that haven't started it or this is your first time call, I recommend that you start out with phase 1. It's a 4-meal-a-day program. It's very, very adaptable into your diet, right? Too many people don't have enough meals in their day. That's one of the reasons why they exhibit some of the symptoms that I told you about, like weight and blood pressure and low energy and poor digestion. So you're eating 4 times a day. You're not going to be famished. You're not going to be starving. When it's time to eat, you'll be hungry, but that's the way it's supposed to be. One of those 4 meals a day is yours, meaning you make it yourself or you prepare it or you buy our smart foods. Either way, and then 3 of them are the complete meal replacement powdered shakes that you turn into a liquid. And I know what you're thinking, that they taste terrible, they're awful, and they're not good for you. 1 meal replacement from us is equivalent to 33 pounds of nutrients, of vitamins and minerals, your fruits and vegetables, your fibers, your meats, your dairy, all your botanicals, your anti-inflammatories, your polyphenols, your flavonoids, all those co-ingredients that come from eating an apple is in a shake. 33 pounds equivalent nutritionally in every one. You're eating 3 of those a day. You physically could not eat that much in 2 weeks. That's how nutrient dense it is. And I got to tell you, it took me 2 years of formulating. I had to, it's one thing to take the ingredients and go, this is a magic potion. Will make everyone feel wonderful. You put it together and you taste it. I got to tell you, the first one I made was, it was awful. I loved the power of the ingredients. I couldn't stomach it. It was so bad that what did you do as parents when your children had to take medicine? You had them plug their nose, right? Because you can't smell it, therefore you can't taste it. It was so bad that even plugging your nose was horrible. It was still tasted awful. And so I had some work to do. It took me 2 years to get it to taste great. It's a great tasting shake. The vanilla and the chocolate are bases. A lot of people just take them just like that and they're fine. Now, if you want to add a little bit of some milks to it, like an almond milk, like cashew milk, like hemp milk, like a combination of coconut milk, don't use soy. That's not for humans. And they have to be unsweetened. Just look at the nutritional panel on the back. It has to have less than 3 grams. Because remember, we're trying to stay away from those carbohydrates. So that we want to stay away from. I'm just getting something on my phone here. I want to make sure that we didn't get bumped off our telephone call. Hang on. Hang on. Hello.
Now you're here. I think you're
Okay, all right. So we're all still good?
Good. We can still hear you.
All right, excellent. Okay. I just, sometimes these things light up and it gives me a signal. I just want to make sure that we're all still there. So back on the program, it's a very adaptable. If you don't like just regular chocolate and vanilla, that's why I've given you over 50 extract flavors. You can mix any flavor. I had for lunch today, I had Kona coffee chocolate with a little bit of coconut. It was absolutely delicious. I'm not the only one. Because I experiment so many times with flavors, I make them for a lot of the people in the office, and every single person, were thumbs up and they're going, this is one of the best ones. I want you to experiment with it because it'll pay off. The reason why it'll pay off is it'll taste delicious. You'll have lots of variety. You'll tell the people that you get started in a business that you know for a fact that it doesn't matter what their taste preference is, that we can find a flavor that they will absolutely love. Callie, she loves the pina colada mixed with the vanilla. That's divine. Her girls love the peach strawberry. That's a great one. You'll find your favorites. Another reason why it'll pay off for you to do this is because we're going to have a contest, and whoever comes up with the best flavor of the month will get something. Maybe we'll buy you an island or something, and you'll get to live there. All right, maybe the island won't be like this big, but no, we'll get you something that will be worth the while, and we'll give you a plaque, and you'll be able to brag that you're the best flavor of the month. Maybe it'll be a cash prize. Maybe it'll be free product. Who knows? We'll do fun things with it. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to make it adaptable to people's lifestyle. We don't want people to go on this diet for a little while and then bounce right back off. That's yo-yo dieting. That's not healthy. It's not good for us to do that. This is truly a lifestyle diet. It is working. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be on 3 shakes a day. That's just during phase 1. We have 4 phases. The 4th one at the end is lifestyle. You have 1 shake a day. And then you go out at least once a week and have everything and anything you want to eat. And then the very next day, you have 3 shakes. That one day following your treat day will clean everything out, will get rid of all the excess, and you go right back to 1 shake a day. Who can't do that? That's an easy way of maintaining your weight and yet exploring and indulging of any food and every food you've ever wanted to eat. And because eating is a wonderful thing. So this is a very, very acceptable diet. I went to China and took the diet there. Before the webinar started, I had a woman, her name is Carrie, and she's going to India for 3 months because of her work. And she took a supply. She's throwing it right in her bag. She took the oil, she took the powder, she took the chocolates, the scents that you love, those little chocolate squares. She took a bunch of those, and so it's very, very adaptable. This is her 3rd time to India. She's done it every time. It works great. So don't accept the thoughts that creeps into your mind that people that travel can't do this diet. Business people can't do this. Anybody can do this diet, and they deserve, or should I say, their body deserves, and they should reward themselves with it. So that is a lot of information in a short period of time. Any of you continue to send me any any messages, send it through support, and we'll do our very best to answer all of those. But highlights of the meeting is that the website will be coming up online within 10 days. So get ready for that. That'll be a big celebration. And contact support and get on the auto delivery. And those of you that have not started the protocol, start it. Those of you that are not checking your emails for blasts that we send you, get on it, check it, make sure that maybe why don't you call into the office and we'll send you a test email to make sure that you're getting them. You got to get these messages. You got to be informed. We want you to be knowledgeable. How else are you going to find out about a contest when we offer it if you're not getting your text messages? And so be diligent, follow through with what we teach you, and I promise you, your life will be enriched both financially and physically. And not to mention, if you feel good, perhaps even your spirit will be enriched a little bit too. So I appreciate your time. I love you. I care about you. This is why I did this business. I don't even know you, but I care about you. I want you to get every benefit that I have, that I've enjoyed. And so I'm going to open it up, Merv, for 3 questions. And so, Merv, I'm going to take everybody off of a mute. And
Jason?
yes, sir.
Muted. Jason?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
You still there?
I'm here.
Hello? Unmuted.
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. So do you have
You might
any?
make a few comments, Jason, of the difference of Pro 22 and Pro 6. We get that question quite often. When you want to make a few comments about how they're different?
Yes, sir. First, one of the things that people forget to do, you see what I do at every webinar? Drink water. You gotta feed that body with not only calories, but you gotta have some water. So pardon me for just a moment here. Let me wet my whistle. Oh, so good. Delicious. All right. The reason why we have Pro 22 and the new bag design that I've shown you will be P22. That's the same as Pro 22. P6 and P3. The reason why they're different is because they have a different enzyme blend in each and they have a different protein content. Now you hear a lot of news about how much protein do we need. Well, the information out there that we've been going off of for decades is 0.5 gram of protein for every pound of lean muscle mass every 24 hours. When that's just for every person. An athlete that's really working out needs 1 gram, twice as much, not 3, 4, 5 times more. They can take it, but their body's not going to metabolize it. They'll just pee it out. And so it's a waste of money. Your body can only metabolize so many amino acids within a digestive cycle. A digestive cycle is just a simple way of saying how long it takes for the food to transfer from your stomach to your small and your large intestine. That's your digestive cycle. And when it's a liquid, it's shorter time because it's not as there's not as much mass, not as much needs to be broken down. It's pre-digested. So when I first started the protocol, about 6 weeks in, sometimes 8 weeks, our patients were starting to plateau. Now, having a plateau, that means you just stop losing weight or your blood pressure stops dropping any further, but it's not at its perfect number. People were plateauing. They weren't getting any more success, but they're following the same protocol, the same exact program. And I was scratching my head going, this doesn't make any sense. I'm looking at the science, I'm looking at the numbers, and it just didn't make any sense. They should have kept on losing. So we developed some plateau breakers, which worked, and you'll have those in video as well. But after that, they were still plateauing. It was still not working. And then I remembered an old study that I had read that talked about a large study of about 20,000 people, lasted for 10 years, and it covered from 18 years old right up to 79 years old. Both men and women, all ethnicities, in all parts of the country, so lots of different diets. And what the study determined was that the average person was only digesting 47% of the foods that they're eating. That includes macro and micronutrients. Macro, remember, is what? That's where you get your calories. That's protein, that's fat, that's carbohydrates. Micro, that's everything else. That's all your vitamins, minerals, and all other nutrients. So they're getting less than half. Well, why was that? It's because of their digestive flora. Their digestive enzymes were weak. You were eating it, but your body was not able to break it down so that your cells were getting the benefit, and you're just getting rid of it. Well, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is our food's just not the same as it was 100 years ago. It's not as nutrient dense. The farmers are not putting back into it all of our minerals back into the soil, so it's under mineralized. That's another reason. The third reason is that during the winter months, and even during some of the summer months, we're having more and more of our fruits and vegetables shipped to us from countries that are thousands of miles away. Like in the winter here in Utah, we get mangoes, but they're not grown in California. It's too cold there. They're being shipped from Bolivia or Ecuador, and it takes 8 to 10 weeks for them to arrive. So they're picking them premature before they have all their nutrients, and then they treat them with gas, so they're enzyme dead by the time they arrive to us. So they look great, but they don't have the enzymes that would normally have in that food for our bodies to benefit from and break down all of the nutrients that we need. So I started thinking, well, that could be the problem, because in the very first batch I put a digestive spread. I wanted you to be able to digest your food. So once you started on the program, at about 6 weeks, you're getting the full benefit of digestive flora. That's another reason why you need to be on the protocol for more than just a couple of weeks. Even if you don't have weight to lose, it's simply because you need to reinforce your digestive flora. And I'm giving you a full 15 spectrum boost of these enzymes, probiotics and prebiotics in every single shake. And so we're reboosting that up. So by the time 6 weeks came along, you are no longer digesting 47% of your nutrients. You are digesting 98%, 99% of everything that you're getting. What also happened then is that you were getting more protein than you needed. Well, if you get more protein than your body needs, it'll shop it around to the body and says, anybody else need any more amino acids? No, we're good. We've got enough to repair our muscle tissue, and we don't need to grow any new cells. Then the body will then break it down into a glucose. If there's sufficient extra left over, then what you'll get is you'll get an insulin spike. Your pancreas will say, well, glucose is raising the blood sugar level. I need to introduce insulin to bring it back down, and it can kick you out of fat burning mode because you're eating too much protein. And then if there's extra leftover glucose, more than what your body needs, what happens to excess glucose, everybody? That's right. The body naturally converts it to stored fats. And now not only are you stopped burning your stored fat, you kicked out of fat burning mode, kicked out of ketosis, now you're adding to it. You're actually gaining fat. Well, that was the opposite of what I wanted to do. So in my attempt to increase your digestive quality and strength, I inadvertently also increased your ability to process and absorb more proteins, which then created a plateau. So I tinkered around, did some testing. Fortunately, we had lots of test patients to work with, and then developed the Pro 6 and the Pro 3. It's a lesser amount and slightly different enzyme spread so that you don't have that effect happen. Now, we don't want to have too much protein because there are some negative effects. One, you're wasting money. Two, you're putting more stress on your liver and your kidneys. When protein's broken down, one of the side effects is that it produces more ammonia and nitrogen. And those are toxins that the body doesn't like a lot of. Now, under normal conditions, your liver and your kidneys can get rid of that, and you'll expel it. But in high levels, it can stress out those two organs. And so why do it? Why put it under stress if it need to? If your muscle's getting enough amino acids, then that's great. So you may ask, well, how do I know I'm getting enough? Well, thank goodness there was a person that insisted on you getting a scale. That would be me. And so I want you to get a scale, part of that bio kit when you first start it, because I don't want you to do two things. I don't want you to go into ketosis and then get bounced out of it because you're getting too much protein and you hit a plateau and put more stress on your liver and the kidneys. But also, I wanted you to see your progress. I didn't want you to get too little protein. So that's what the scale does. It tells you what your muscle mass is so that we can dial it in. Now, by experience, I know that most all of you don't need Pro 22 in every meal. Definitely not in phase 1. It is possible in phase 4 for that to happen. Take me, for example, all right? I'm a big, strapping, strong guy. I'm 215 pounds. I am 13% body fat. I'm pretty lean. I should be having, according to the old science, I should be having, 95 grams of protein a day. I lived on Pro 3, 18 months, 3 times a day, and I lost 0 muscle mass. Now, my scale is really a fancy one. It costs $11,000. It tells me what my dry muscle mass, taking out the hydration, because muscle is about 70-80% water. This measures just the muscle tissue itself. I lost 0. In fact, I gained 1.5 pounds of dry muscle mass in that 18-month period of time. Now, you explain to me how that's possible when I'm only getting Pro 3 times a day. It's less than what the previous study said, that determined that we should have 0.5 gram of protein for every pound of lean muscle mass in a 24-hour period. Well, where did that study come from? How come they didn't know about the other study that talked about that we're getting less than 50% of their food? Because there's just thousands of studies. The study that they did it on was on people that had kidney and liver disease. That's how they were able to tell how much extra nitrogen and ammonia was being created, because these people were on dialysis and they were extremely sensitive to any extra amount of stress on the kidneys and the liver. So that's where that 0.5 gram came out of. Those people that were in the hospital having those treatments are the same people that are eating the same food that you and I are eating. So that's exactly why I changed the formula. That's why I sent you a Pro 6 in your very first month, because it always happens. I know that you're going to be at least on a Pro 6. I was on a Pro 3 for 18 months. And most of you, I'm not saying that all of you, but most of you don't have the muscle mass, nor do you go and work out twice a day at the gym like I do. So that's one benefit of you partnering with a company that has an 8-year history working with doctors and clinics with great data. This is not a stab in the dark. This is not something new. We didn't just throw an idea together and said, you know what, this sounds like a good idea. Why don't we go make some money? No, no, no. This is, our program was based on 600 clinical studies. Now, when I say that, that's out of 20,000 on this topic. I read and studied myself 600 clinical studies. That's how this program was created. I literally stood on the shoulders of brilliant men and women that dedicated their lives to overcoming the symptoms that you're facing. The symptoms of metabolic syndrome, diabetes and weight and digestive disorders. That's the dedication. So it's really not just me that's standing behind you. It's all these men and women that all they do is they go to work in a lab without any applause, without any fanfare, and they find out solutions to these issues that we're facing with. And so, you know, in your prayers tonight, give thanks for those people's dedication. They deserve it. And maybe you'll meet someday on the other side. So hopefully that explained the reason why you have Pro 26, Pro 22, 6, and 3. Merv, Did that answer the question?
It sure did. That's great.
You know, one thing people tease me about is that I never can give a short answer to a short question. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But you want to make some comments on the omega 369 and why that's include that in the program?
Well, I'll give you a short version. We're up in an hour now, and I know that some of you are sensitive.
Short version.
Okay, so the quick version is what's unique about our omega oil? Well, there's a lot of omega oils out there, and there's some great brands. One is that ours is more omega-3 if it's a blend than any other brand out there. Ours is 2.5 times omega-3 to omega-6 and 1-to-1 to omega-7. Or I'm sorry, of omega-9. There are some omega-7s in it, but not as much as the other two in comparison. The reason why, first, is they're cold-pressed, organic, non-GMO, plant-sourced omegas. That's key. Heat is an enemy to oil. So you can get the healthiest oil out there, and if you heat it up, you ruin the benefits of it. Now, when I'm talking about heating it up, I'm talking about cooking it. If you're using olive oil, for example, here I go again. I'm giving a long answer to a short question. I'll talk more about that, but don't heat your oils up unless it's an oil that can tolerate a lot of heat. So don't use olive oil. It's not a high heat oil. Go to coconut oil. Go to avocado oil. Go to grapeseed oil. Those three are great oils for temperature. They'll tolerate it, and they taste great. And so we put these oils in a certain specific blend. It literally took me a year to make this formula. It is extremely complex. I literally worked on it every day for a year to come up with the formula that you have. But ours will give you the benefits of the omega-3s. You don't want to have too much omega-6, which most Americans are getting about 23 times more than they should. So I'm balancing out that by giving you 2.5 times more omega-3. And ours has a liver cleanse in it. It's clinically been proven to defat a liver in 18 weeks. So that's very, very important because the liver is an important element or organ in our body to do what we're trying to have it do. Every drop of blood goes through that liver. It's filtered for toxins, but not only that, that's how we get our energy. That's where we're getting our get up and go from the calories that we're taking in is, thank goodness, to our liver. And so it needs to be cleansed, and we have 2 ingredients in there, proprietary ingredients that have clinically been proven to defat and cleanse the liver. Well, nobody has that. I don't know why they've done it. They're not crazy, I guess, like we are. So we put it right in the oil so that you don't have to take another element. All you have to do is add 3 things to your shake: water or the milk, the powder, and the oil. That's it. You have the healthiest food on earth. I know I'm getting in trouble with Mother Nature when I say this. Mother Nature cannot give you a food that ounce for ounce, gram for gram is more nutritious than what you get every month, every day in that CMR. It's a concentrated issue. It's the power of a scientific extraction. Now it comes from Mother Nature, thank goodness, because they're all whole foods. They're not made in the lab, but that extraction process just makes it concentrated. And so when you need more energy, you need to take the oil, more oil before more scoops of the powder. I always tell people, take more of the oil. Now I have you started out on 2 pumps of oil per shake. I work out all the time. I'm working, here we are, 8 o'clock at night, and I still got work to do, I'll do tonight. And I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to the gym. How do I do it? I give myself the energy. I take 10 to 12 pumps in every shake. That's it in every one. So I'm getting almost 30 pumps a day. That's how I keep my energy level up. That's how I do it. And so the oil is a unique feature with the oil. You cannot get too much of it. That's just one of the benefits of omega oil. If your body is had its fill, it didn't need any more, and you gave it more, it doesn't store it as fat like other fats. It'll get rid of the rest about the back door. It'll just use it, see it as waste. And that's a unique feature. You'll burn more fat by using omega oil than not using it. Don't count the calories when you're coming to omega fats. And so for those of you that go to order another bag of the CMR for the powdered shake, you've got to have the oil. It is absolutely imperative for your health and for your energy, for your clarity of thought. They're the husband and the wife. They are meant to be together. And that's why I started you out with that product. I'm not trying to sell you something else and just charge you more money. It is worth every single penny, and your body will thank me for it. Remember that guy that talked about his dog and how he was responding to it just by licking the spoon of the oil? I think he said it was 7 or 9 years old, and feeling its age, and after a week he was bouncing around like a puppy dog, getting into mischief just like a puppy does. Well, that's just the dog getting the oil. You wasn't getting the MRP, wasn't getting the shake, just getting the oil. That's just half of the medicine. That's the benefit that you need to have and that you're missing if you're not getting the oil. Got to get the oil. Take the oil, boys and girls. It's a great, great product. There's the short version. Wow. So Merv, it looks like I'm past the hour. I'm run out of time. Father Time is not giving me any more. He says I've exceeded my limit. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your efforts. Keep up the good work. Those of you that enrolled other people, encourage them to stay on the protocol, encourage them to talk to their friends, and just talk about it. Just show them the results. Let them experience it for themselves. And that's how your business will grow. And at the very least, you'll spread the good news of making people feel better. So until next week, I'm signing off. I thank you, and God bless you all.
Good call. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah. Good night, everybody.